Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to show you an installation procedure for ReefWrap from JetBoatPilot. We did this a few years ago, and since that release, we have come out with a new product, a new formulation for this product that has a better adhesive that requires a little bit more simplified installation procedure. So we're going to show you that today. Got my good friend Jason with us here today. Say hello, Jason.
Hello.
Also, too, I want to show you some things you're going to need to do your install. I've got it laid out here for you. The first thing you're going to need is some sort of small razor blade. We'll get into reasons why just a little while here, but definitely have your little small blade. You're going to want some towels, maybe a microfiber towel. Scrub brush is good, especially if you've got a used boat that's got damage or maybe it's dirty. You're going to need some rubbing alcohol. We recommend at least 90% plus IPA, as well as some sort of cleaning product in case your hull is dirty. Of course, the kit is going to come from JetBoatPilot, as you see, and each of these parts will be labeled with an identifier on the back side here. So you'll see parts labeled A through F, I think it is, and they'll have a little designator S or P. S for starboard side, P for port side. So you can easily identify. We also have a parts diagram on our website. We'll drop a link in the description below so you can get access to that parts diagram. It'll make your installation process a little easier. All right, well, let's jump into the install. You'll notice that right away, Jason is down here. He is prepping the surface. It is of the utmost importance to make sure that your surfaces are clean and free of debris, free of oils, and free of any sort of materials that may have been scratched up. Let's say that you hit an oyster shell. You need a flat surface. So Jason's prepping now, getting ready for that. Previous videos we've done for this product, we have advised to use Primer 94. Primer 94 was an accelerator for your adhesive, but with this new formulation for the adhesives now being made specifically to adhere to polymers, we no longer need to use Primer 94. So yay, that's wonderful, one less step. So now that we fully have cleaned and prepped, you're gonna let the alcohol or whatever cleaner you've used dry. And once it's fully dry, we'll jump right into peeling and sticking. To make your install process easier, it is best to use a razor blade and splice the paper about center way down the pad, exposing the adhesive, and you'll fold the paper back and lay it flat. This way you can get your alignment just right, and you can lightly tack the adhesive to make sure that the pad doesn't move. Note that the pad is cut in such a way that there's about a 1/8 inch offset around the edge of the pad and the material that you're adhering to. So just make sure when you align your pad, you allow for about a 1/8 inch inset from the material to the pad itself. Also, when adhering, it's good to squeegee the air out as you apply force. You don't want to trap air bubbles underneath the pad. And if you do somehow trap air bubbles underneath, a simple push pin will relieve that air, allow it to release. Once you have pressed in place, go ahead and press your edges firmly. This is going to prevent water intrusion around the edges and make sure that the pad stays permanently installed. When installing this larger pad, it may be helpful to have a helper on this part. It can be done with one person, but it's easier if you have an extra set of hands. Align your pad once again to allow for about a 1/8 inch inset from the edge of your material. Once you get it aligned where you like it, lightly press the adhesive in the center that's been exposed by folding that paper back. Double check both the front and the back to make sure everything's good before you begin the process of removing the paper. Using a stroking motion, try to squeegee the air out as you apply pressure to prevent trapping air behind the pad. Also, it's important to note it's best to do this in a clean area with very little dust or contaminants in the air if you can, and do it in the shade. It's also good to do this in temperatures above 60 degrees Fahrenheit for best adhesion. Up until this point, we've installed on flat surfaces, so there's really not been specific instruction about how to apply the pads. But on this particular pad, because it's being installed on a surface that has multiple angles, it's important to install the forwardmost portion first. So get that aligned first, like you see Jason doing here. And then once you've installed the front portion leading up to the point where it bends, then you'll install that second. Align with the sticker above for the 230 horsepower or whatever your sticker shows. And also there's a little notch there in the pad. You'll see on this port side, for most boats, you're going to have just this little cutout there. at the top. That's going to indicate that that's a port side and it's aligned with that little cutout in the pontoon itself. Press your edges firmly, make sure that all the air has been expelled. Once all those flat surfaces have been laid flat, then you can transition into that curved area. You do this second to make sure that you don't have any buckles or creases in your pad. And as with all the others, once you get done, press all of your edges firmly, give you a good water lock. These are especially important in the back because this portion can at times be underwater. Once again, on this pad that's going to have a curve, install the portion that's farthest to the left there, nearest to the front of the boat. And then once you've got that area installed, then you'll press around that contoured edge. If you ever have any of these pads lift on you, you want to reapply, a little dab of super glue in that area that lifted is helpful in tacking it back down. This pad is easy to identify, and where it goes, there's a little notch in the lower corner that aligns with a notch on the boat. Make sure you get your orientation right. It does go a specific way. The starboard side is a mirror of the port side on all boats, with the exception of your Switch fish, which is introduced in 2025. You'll notice that for the Switch fish, they are engraving the VIN number, the hull identification number, on the rear portion that you see here. So that panel is going to be a little different in your kit if you have purchased a Switch fish kit. So make double sure you check closely before you press the order button online that you are indeed ordering the correct kit. Well, that's your install for ReefWrap for the SeaDoo Switch. Total install time for someone who has not done this before, figure about an hour. If you're a dealer that's looking to install this, about an hour is good. We'll put a link in the description below for you to find this product on our website, as well as also a link in the description below for the diagram so you'll see which one of your parts goes where. We appreciate you watching this video, and we hope it was helpful to you. If you've got questions, comment below. And by the way, if you like this video, check this one out.